Hey guys, well welcome back to another edition of Outpost Review. I have went through now, I've got all the framing done for the exterior walls. I actually had to go back because as I was framing there were a few cripples and jack studs that I left out, so I went back through there and put those in. So now I've got everything framed out. I decided not to put any headers in because I was running low on the pine trees and I wanted to go ahead and get the 2x4s sawed up that I was going to need for the horizontal runs outside to screw my exterior siding to. So I think I've got all of that done, but I noticed as I was going through here, you know, you try to plan ahead and not to try to make any mistakes. Well, I did. I made one. The header, or what would have been the header, the height on the door is going to be off from the windows a little bit. And I realized after I had done it that when I was measuring for the window, I measured from the top of the 2x4. So actually the opening needs to be 81.5 inches for my 3-foot door. So when I measure that out from the floor, because you cut out the stud that's on the bottom when you get ready to put your door in, right there I decided to make it 82 because I'm going to have a 1/2 inch finish plywood to go down on the floor. So not thinking about that caused me to have a door facing that's going to be a little bit higher than the window. Of course, you know, it's not going to be a big deal, but I would have preferred to have thought about that, but I just, you know, some things they skip your mind. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it's not going to be a big deal. It'll just be a little bit higher right there, but since both the windows are uniform, you know, it's not going to look that bad. But anyway, I did notice that. So on this front door and that back door, of course the back door won't be that noticeable because it's on a wall without a window. But anyway, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is when I go to put the exterior wall on the outside here, I'm actually going to cut this right here and there. Then I will take that out. I'll put in my 2x4 cross and put the little blocks back in and be done with it. But I can't really do that right now with the plastic there, and since these are nailed, you know, it'd be just too difficult to pry it out, and then I'm going to screw up the 2x4. Now the one over there, that's the good thing about using screws. I could just back those out and do that. But I thought, you know, I'll just wait. It'd be a whole lot easier to just raise the saw up there, cut this way, and then when the plastic's gone, I can cut this way. So it'll be just as easy to do that. Anyway, I did notice that as I was going through here finishing everything up. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time and answer some questions that people have had about the homestead up here. Some person said that the next tool that I should look at would be an oscillating tool. Well, I actually have one. It's not that great. It's a little bit more light duty than medium or heavy duty, but it does, you know, after you spend a little bit of time, you know, you can do some things with it, but hopefully you wouldn't have to dig anything out that you would need that oscillating saw for. But no, I do have one. Somebody commented that they had all Milwaukee tools and that they thought that they were great. I have a couple of Milwaukee tools, and I think that they're great as well. I've got a couple of DeWalt, and they seem to be just as fantastic as the Milwaukee that I've got. Then the Matebo circle saw, it's really kicking butt up here. I mean, it does a really good job. I just wish that I'd have had battery-powered tools long ago. Of course, some of this heavy-duty stuff like this timber framing, it would have wore them out in a hurry, and I really needed power for that. Somebody else commented that they read somewhere that the average cordless drill that the homeowner buys only gets between 6 and 20 minutes of use in its lifetime. Well, mine got 6 minutes of use the first hour. But I know what he means. He means constant use, but I have well exceeded that using mine up here because, you know, it depends. Most people, you know, aren't doing anything like I'm doing, and they buy a cordless drill and then they just use it for projects here and there. But I'm constantly working on a project, so even if my home was built, I think that I would well have used that up within, you know, just a little bit of time. So it depends on how crafty you are and how busy you are and the things that you do. Then I had another person comment and said that they had a cabin that they've had for about 50 years out in the middle of the woods, and they didn't actually clear out around it. And recently that there was a storm and they came in to visit the cabin and actually found a tree on top of it and one that was inside of it. So, you know, even my ex-wife, she had an area where she had a home and liked having the trees close by, but in a storm, a great big huge limb actually came down and poked its way through the roof, and they had to temporarily seal that section of the roof off with plastic until they could get somebody out there to fix it. So that's one reason that I have been thinning trees out, especially around all of the different buildings, because I don't want to have to go back and build those buildings again. Now, that's only certain trees, you know. Now, you know, if you had a freak storm like a twister or something like that that came through, you know, there's no doubt that you got flying debris, that there's really anything you can do about it. Some of the trees around here that have a better root system, I'm not so worried about. But the yellow pine trees, like I have been cutting, and actually what I'm using for the studs and the exterior wall, it really does good. It's good wood for that. But the root system, they grow so crooked, and like I said, they get top heavy, and just like this most recent snow that we had, it just brings them down. And a pretty good windstorm will bring them over too. So I just prefer to thin those out, have those out of my way by opening up the canopy where the sun can penetrate and get down to the ground. Those younger trees, they'll grow a whole lot faster, and it'll still be as beautiful as it is, and that wood can be put to good use on a lot of the different projects that I'm doing around the homestead here. You know, I had a comment from a guy that lives in Canada, and he was saying that the Canadians up there were laughing at the snow that we got that I showed recently in a video. But, you know, I have to laugh too, because, you know, originally I'm from Michigan, and I know, you know, I'm all too familiar with 2, 3, and 4 foot deep snow. I can remember especially one Christmas where the snow was kind of like this around the window because it was so deep. And I also remember as a kid, you know, back in those days, we actually walked to school. As a kid in grade school, you could walk 10 blocks, and you had a group of students actually called the safety patrol, where they would kind of earn merits, but they would be on the street corner and safely walk the kids across the street, of course, you know. But I can remember them turning school out if a blizzard came, and of course the kids, most of them, would walk home. And you know, 10 blocks wasn't a big deal because most of the homes up there, you know, are built where 2 homes are actually side by side like this, and they share a driveway from the street that comes between the 2 of them, and then it splits in the back to a garage behind each one. And I can remember coming home from school, kind of playing as I was making my way home, and of course the snow plows, the trucks, they had been through, you know, plowing snow to keep the streets. If you parked your car in the street, a lot of that snow got plowed over next to the car. So you could actually walk up the snow, you know, depending on if it got packed really hard, but you could walk, and they didn't move their car for a while, but you could walk up and over that vehicle and down the other side. And a lot of times the kids, we'd go up there and slide down, you know, or if the neighbors had a little bit of a hill, you know, some people did, but mostly it's flat up there. But if they had a little bit of a hill, you know, you could get in your toboggan and slide down the hill.
But yeah, I can remember those days of really deep snow. So when he said that, I thought, you know, I'm all too familiar with that. But now people down here, I'm telling you, they freak out. If the weather says we're supposed to get an inch of snow, they will make their way to the grocery store, and you can't find any milk and you can't find any bread. I don't know why it is that people hoard those two things. It's kind of like the toilet paper recently. And the paper towels, you know, that really didn't make any sense. But the funny thing is that snow is not going to last 3 days. Well, what are you going to do with all that extra bread and milk? It's going to go to waste unless you can use it fast enough. But I just, you know, I couldn't do that. But I really think that that's funny because down here, of course, you know, you've got to realize as well that the mountains here, you know, make it far more difficult to navigate with terrain like that. So if you've got a hill with an inch of snow on it, it's not as easy to climb as it would be, you know, on flat land to be able to go where you need to go. And a lot of people, you know, they don't have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. So it makes it difficult for those people. But one thing I have seen that's very common is if you've got snow or something like that on the road, you have got to get speed going uphill. You go slow going downhill. You don't go slow going uphill. And I have watched people from a distance traveling really slow through the snow to be careful, you know, and they're coming to a hill and they never gain any speed, and then they get just a little ways up and then they start spinning, you know, and you know, they can't make it up the hill. But if they would gain speed as they're going and get up that hill, then they can slow down, you know, as they get to the crest of that hill and then ease their way down. But a lot of people, you know, they just don't know how to drive in it, and that's what they'll do. Anyway, you know, I just wanted to make a comment about the snow. Of course, you know, like I said, normally we only get an inch or two, and it only happens once or twice. What we have got here recently was like 3 or 4 inches at a time. This last snow, I don't remember if it was actually 5 or 6. It was more common when I was a kid and we moved here to get maybe 2 that were 6, 7, and 8 inches deep, but we haven't had that in years. And the weather pattern had changed to where, like I said, a lot of years we wouldn't even get snow. It would just be rain, and some of it may turn to a little bit of ice, you know, but it's kind of uncommon for us to have snows like that. But they are predicting another one in a few days. Someone said that I should put windows in the gables ends right here. And you know, I thought about that. But I also know that the more windows you have, the more heat loss you have. And I want to try to maintain as much heat as possible in here. That's one reason I'm putting the radiant barrier in. But you know, on every wall I've got a window, so there's going to be heat loss there. You know, there's no real way to get by. You've got storm windows that you can get, you know, that have an airspace between them. And my grandfather in his house, he even installed a second window on the inside where you actually opened up 2 windows. But I've decided against putting the windows up there because I think what I have will be sufficient to let a lot of light in. Yes, it would be nice if I could afford to do that, but you know, I'm retired. I live on a fixed income pretty much, so I don't want to cause myself any more expense than possible. So I've decided against putting those in the gable ends. Now the other home that I built, I actually had double windows going all the way up, so the peak of my roof was 22 feet high, and the windows that were beside the fireplace that I had that was going up, they probably, I don't know, may have went up 14 feet. And it was really nice, but it was hard to heat that big cabin too. Of course, it was 3,000 square feet. It was hard to heat it. I think that what I've got going on here is going to be sufficient, and it will help to keep the place heated in the winter and cooler in the summer. So hey guys, check out these new boots. We had a company reach out to us called
rock rooster, and they sent me these boots. Now I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear them for about a week and give you a good review on them. But I'll tell you what, these boots right here, the nice soft leather and the very thick sole that it's got right here, and it's sewn on, and it's got double places to loop and tie right here. I'll tell you what, these are the bomb. I'm really enjoying them. They're very comfortable, and like I said, I'm going to be providing you a good review on them, actually on both channels. But yeah, I thought I would go ahead and show you that and mention that to you. This is the first day that I've had them on, but so far I'm really liking them. Now I haven't really said anything about this planer. I thought that what I would do is provide you a little bit of a review on it. So far it's doing a really good job. It's got a tool right here on the side to be able to take it apart and do the things that you need to do, because there is a belt in there that you might need to replace. Also, you've got the blades in there that you might have to replace those. That tool just stays right down in there, so that's really handy. You can lock and unlock it right here, which you have a place to store your blades, extra blades. So that's really cool. This right here has got a setting from 0 all the way up to 5/64, and I mean, you can be hogging some material out when you've got it set up there. But so far it's doing a really good job. I guess maybe the downside of this tool would be this switch right here, which is just a safety. You've got to press it down in order to pull the trigger. See, you can't pull it that way. Now you can have your thumb on this side, you can have your thumb on this side, I guess, depending on whether you were right or left-handed. I will tell you this, that this seems to get clogged up if I am using wet wood, which, you know, the wood that I'm using up here is a little bit green, so you can see that right in there. And what it does is it kind of gets stuck in there, and I have to take a screwdriver and kind of dig it out. But now if it is dry wood, it seems to do really well, actually. Every once in a while, you know, if you're cutting out really heavy material, it can get clogged up, and you just kind of have to tap it on the side to get that out. But so far, the battery seems to last quite a while. I can work up here a couple of days with it. You know, recently, until I milled up some new 2x4s, I was actually using some 2x4s that had got rain on them. I failed to cover them up, and what I wanted to do was kind of take that outer layer off because it kind of had turned black. So you probably saw me doing that, and you know, that material, you know, like I said, kind of clogged this up in here, but it's been really doing a good job. So I don't really have any complaints. It's got, it doesn't really get bogged down, you know, if you're pushing on it. I mean, I can push hard and actually stop it, but if you just use it decently, you know, I think that it was a good buy. So my son, like I said, you know, he takes a look at all of these different tools and tries to go by the reviews that you know, that are out there, so that we can get the best tool for the job. But yeah, like I say, so far it's doing a good job and working great. You can see that scaffolding board that I had actually made when we were actually putting the roof system on. It got left up there, and I thought, well, I'll take it down later. And it runs all the way to the end, as you can see. But you know, actually, I'm glad that I had that up there, because it allowed me to be able to get up there and put that angle iron on those joints up there. You can see that. And the other thing that I'm going to have to get up there and do is I've got to take that Australian tongue and linseed oil, and I have got to do these beams the purlins and the upper central beam up there, because originally we had only done the beams on the bottom and the posts up to those beams right there. But now that this floor is on, it makes it a whole lot easier to work off the ladder and get that right there. I might be able to just get a small extension for the handle and be able to do that. But I can actually get up there on those walk boards that are still there, and I can actually just walk across and work on those beams. And I think what I may do is I may go ahead and leave them up there because they're not hurting anything. And when I go to putting the tongue and groove and the insulation in the ceiling, they'll come in handy there too. So I'll probably leave them up there until, you know, everything like that is done before I take them down, because they're not in the way and they do help out. So I think that that would be a good move to make, and leave those up there. You know, I mentioned that I had some material left from that mantelpiece that I'd made for one of my friends here recently for his wife for Christmas. And the reason that I had left this down low is because I want a mantle back here. That's the reason I didn't bring it up and out. It would have provided me a little bit more residual radiant heat from the pipe if I'd have had a little bit more of it, but I didn't want that. I wanted a mantle. So what I've decided to do is leave it where it's at, and what I'm going to do is when I work my way around the house and actually take this plastic off, I'll have to take that pipe back off because it's just temporary to put the siding on and then put it back, you know, together permanent. But this stud that's right here, because my wall is actually, I'm going to bring this rock, I've got another piece of it, it's going to come up to about right here, and then go across, because that's what I will lay my rock to. But what I'm going to do is this stud right here that's set in about 12 inches from this one right here, I'm actually going to put another one in over here about a foot from this side right here. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the feet or the legs, whatever you want to call them. You know, you can actually picture some kind of material that I'm going to go ahead and fasten in here, and I may go ahead and use some bolts, but you can kind of imagine something that's been has had the bark taken off of it, and I may go ahead and just kind of round it out here and make it kind of bulky, but I think that that's really going to look good to support that mantle. Okay, so hey guys, it's that time of the month. It's time to draw the winner for the month of December, and to also talk about the giveaway for January and the new year 2021. Okay guys, I'm back home now, and what we're going to do is, I gave the little puppy a bath. Now he wants to jump up here and get me all wet. I've got the video pulled up for the month of December, and I've got the random picker pulled up, so we're going to turn around here. We're going to pick a winner for the month of December for that nice maul that we're going to give out. So let's turn around here and see who that's going to be. So this is the video with the giveaway. So what I'm going to do is I want to copy this URL. Then I'm going to go back over here to the random picker. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to paste that in there. Then we'll go down here. We will get all the comments. And then we will go down here and start the raffle. So it looks like, Papa, you are the winner for that nice maul. So congratulations. So Papa is the winner for the month of December. He is actually the one that sent me those bench dogs that I have, you've probably seen me using, and I tell you what, they work so well. But congratulations to you, Papa. Be sure and email us your address so that we can get that out to you within the next couple of weeks, or we will have to pick another winner. Now folks, we've had people try to message us on Facebook.
That's not going to work. You can't direct message us on Instagram either. I'm asking you to provide an email and send it to us. That way it is private and it's discreet, and we don't want your address or anything like that posted on any social media. So send us an email. That's how it works. But anyway, like I said, congratulations, Papa. Let's get back to the video. Let's talk about the giveaway for the month of January. You know, we have given a lot of things away on this channel, and my son and I were talking, and we were like, you know, what are we going to give away for January? Well, we had one giveaway that we got a lot of really good response from. And you know, a lot of people like to sit around and do craft work. A lot of people, you know, older people used to sit around and whittle a lot. And I do that sometimes too, especially if I'm out hiking or something. So what I thought I would do is we would do another giveaway for the woodcraft tools from Beavercraft. So let me show you what they look like. This is a really nice knife. It's a carving knife. And let me tell you, this thing is extremely sharp, okay? Now they do sell sharpening kits that don't come with this. So it's my recommendation that you look in there and get something that you can keep your tools nice and sharp with if you like things like this. This is also a very nice tool. I have used this and carved out a small dish, and I've carved out a spoon and different items, and this is also extremely sharp. Now this takes a different type of sharpening system, but they do have those as well for you, like I said, for you to keep your tools nice and sharp. You also get this curved chisel. This is for reaching in and digging out. It's also very sharp. It also takes a different type of stone, actually, like the one that goes with that spoon knife, because the stone is actually made like this. It's rounded so that you can run it over there and get it sharp. But yeah, these are really great tools, and you get one of these also. So guys, this is going to be the giveaway for the month of January in the new year 2021. We hope that some lucky winner who gets this will enjoy it and be able to get a lot of use out of it and be able to make some of their own crafts and so forth like I have. So everyone, we hope that you enjoyed another segment of the Outpost review. Like we say, you know, all the time, that this is more of behind the scenes, things that are on our mind, thoughts that we have, things that we, you know, talk about for the future and stuff like that, and a chance to answer a lot of the questions that people may have about what we're doing up here, because it's getting increasingly more difficult to be able to respond to everybody personally. But we want to wish everybody good luck in the giveaways, because
we hope that it's you.
Yeah, we're having them on both channels, so be sure and subscribe to this channel. And if you have other people that you know that could benefit from the things that we're doing on either channel, be sure and tell them about it. We appreciate all your support and all the comments. Keep them coming. We may not be able to get to you personally, but we will try to answer things in general on this channel like we have been doing. But like I said, we want to wish everybody good luck in all the drawings that we have on both channels. So with that said, you know, guys, also Happy New Year to you. We hope that, you know, this year, we know that last year was very eventful, but we hope that this year is even as eventful, but in a positive way. We want to wish everyone, you know, good luck and all that for the new year, and good health. So with that said, everyone take care, have a great afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you back up at the Outpost again next time.
Be safe.